The show today. The topic is the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and public education in the South. And we're talking to Dr. Kelly Sanford. And of course, Dr. Sanford, as we promised during the second segment, that we would give you an opportunity to talk about some other aspects of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and public education in the South. And let's give you an opportunity to do that now.
Okay, and I thank you again. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was very instrumental in trying to allow equal access, equal opportunity. And that brings us to the whole issue of the importance of our students today, family members, to understanding this act and the whole history behind it. We find that at our institutions of higher learning that many are entering and they are not recognizing this act, they're not recognizing what went on during the Civil Rights Movement. Why? Because they were born in the 80s. And that to them is the past. I think we have an obligation to allow our students, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of social class, to know about the history of America and the importance of all of these acts and that occurred throughout the history of America. It's so important. And of course, I make an effort to do that in all of my classes. We will review, if you will, Eyes on the Prize, to give them some historical backdrop of what went on during the Civil Rights Movement so that they can get a feel that they have certain freedoms that other people had to really fight for, protest for, and give up, in many instances, their lives for. So it's very important educationally. This act also allowed us to have certain types of equal opportunities within the labor force, which I always try to share with them, and I think there's a misperception, misinformation in many instances about how this led to a dialogue, if you will, of affirmative action, and how affirmative action is something that was put into place that would allow equal access. But I hear many people, when I watch talk shows, very well educated, probably well-meaning people, that are really giving it a bad name. They would use words like quotas or set-asides, or they would use something like preferences. And this is not what affirmative action is. It wasn't set there for that reason. Because of that historical backdrop that we've already talked about,